But me, myself, I'm looking for an explosive fight.
Yeah.
I think if Joshua uses the jab, moves his feet, he wins comfortably. But if he gets involved, he could get tagged like I did. I should have probably used my jab and danced around him.
In a boxing ring.
It is what it is.
The match that has been tagged by many as the match of the year, Knockout Chaos, between Anthony Joshua and Francis, has finally come and gone, ending in a second round of knockout chaos for Francis. Shockingly, Anthony Joshua knocked out the Predator in the second round to emerge victorious. With this victory, Joshua has made a very bold statement to the whole of boxing and has once again positioned himself as a top contender for the heavyweight championship. The build-up to the match attracted comments from several professionals in the game, and with such a great win from Joshua, more pros were quick to share their views and assessments of the match. Let's hear them out. After a series of setbacks in recent years, Joshua has re-emphasized his comeback with yet another victory. A victory that speaks and makes a bold claim that AJ is back. Handing Francis the second consecutive loss of his boxing career in as many matches, Joshua looks set to climb the ladders of boxing to the very top. Several MMA fighters and boxing professionals have shared their thoughts on the fight, with Tyson Fury being one of the very first to make the headlines. Fury, who defeated Francis back in October by a very slight margin, was present at the match in Saudi Arabia. Expectedly, Fury sounded impressed with Joshua's win, owing to his recent rifts with Francis. He claimed Joshua showed Francis who's boss and proved him right when he made a prediction earlier on. "I said he's got no experience, and I expected Joshua to do better than me. He showed him what an experienced boxer looks like. He must have learned from my win." Fury claimed Joshua must have learned a lot from his win against Francis, and he definitely did put it to practice, as he dropped the Cameroonian dead in the second round of the game. "I'm glad I've always been right about this guy. He's never been a good fighter. The game in October made him look good, but he's got just what he deserved today. He can return to MMA in peace." Tyson believed a match of this kind was a necessity in giving Francis a reality check since the match in October overestimated his abilities. To sum up his take, Fury wished Francis a safe trip out of boxing and back to where he was coming from, MMA. Fury's prediction favored Joshua, so it went just the way he wanted it. Shortly before the match, he was seen endorsing Joshua for a win and dropping some advice for him. If Joshua uses the jab and moves his feet, he wins comfortably. If he gets involved, he could get tagged like I did. I should have probably used my jab, danced around him, and won 10-0, but I tried to jump in with the big power shots and hit him bang, bang. I was having a lot of success early with the 1-2, and he was taking them, to his credit, so I got a little bit greedy and ended up on the seat of my ass in my pants. But hey, that's boxing. Fury seemed to want so much success for his fellow Brit, and went as far as analyzing his match with Francis in October to give Joshua some tips and a great advantage. He added, "Use your jab, get back up." What I will say is, with his limited boxing experience after he's landed and hurt someone, he doesn't really have the ability to set more shots up on an elite-level boxer to get him out of there. He, however, pointed out a fault in Joshua's game and warned him against Francis's fierce attacks. "Anthony Joshua is not as elusive as I am. Even on my worst night, he's not as elusive as I am, so he might land on him. And who knows? If he lands on him and he can't take the power, he'll be on the seat of his ass like I was. I'm looking forward to seeing who wins the fight."
I'm on 10-0, but I tried to jump in with the big power shots and hit him bang, bang. I was having a lot of success early with the 1-2, and he was taking them to his credit. So I got a little bit greedy and ended up on the seat of my ass and my pants. But hey, that's boxing.
Professional boxer and brother to Tyson Fury, Tommy Fury, gave brief comments on the match once it was over. "Punch perfect, I can't argue. AJ is a banger, it's over, innit? Big ups to AJ, he deserves it. It sets up a fight everybody wants to see."
Punch perfect, yeah?
Punch perfect. Can't argue.
I mean, what was your reaction the first time and Ngannou got dropped?
AJ's a banger. Listen, it's over, innit?
Yeah.
Joshua, savoring his moment of victory after the match and acknowledging all the praise for his devastating right-hand punch at Francis, responded, "It is what it is." Joshua, unlike Fury, spoke so calmly and looked to have no bad words for Francis, but rather motivated him to stay in the game and keep fighting. On the route to the championship, you should always stay focused, and this was me stepping aside from that. I always thought it was something for the broadcasters and sponsors to kind of get behind because it was just entertainment. But when I saw the fight with him and Tyson Fury, I was like, damn, this guy can fight. So I said I needed a piece of that. He's an inspiration. This doesn't take away anything from his capabilities, because in boxing, it's one or the other. He can come again. I told him he shouldn't leave boxing. Remember, he's 2 fights in and best. He can go a long way if he stays dedicated.
You should always stay focused. And this was me stepping aside from that mission. I thought it was something for the broadcasters and sponsors to kind of get behind because it's just about entertainment. But when I saw
Joshua wasn't ungrateful. He then went on to appreciate his team members. I appreciate them highly. Derek James, Rob McCracken, and Angel Fernandez, Jay Clinton, Robert Garcia, and Virgil Hunter. All these guys have helped me till this day.
Yeah, and I appreciate them highly. Derek James, Rob McCracken, Angel Fernandez, Joby Clayton, Robert Garcia, Virgil Hunter, all these guys that I worked with and just helped me till this day.
Moving on, Floyd Mayweather Jr. was the next to share his thoughts on the match and, most especially, on Joshua's performance. Joshua's shown the world what he's made of, and he's reaching the height I've always talked about. He's shown improvements, and that's great from him. Mayweather said this after tipping Joshua for a win earlier, though he's always claimed Joshua had some improvements to make. And from his point of view, Joshua seemed to have made those necessary improvements in this match. Mike Tyson, after being uninvolved in Francis's second boxing match, also shared his opinion as regards the outcome of the match. It was a very exciting fight, and like I said, boxing is way more than hitting punches, and this night was an example. Joshua's done well, and he can go up from there. Francis will be back, surely. Mike Tyson referenced his statement in an interview where he was enlightening boxing fans about how much more was needed in boxing than a powerful fist. The knockout chaos brought that lesson to life in such ironical fashion. The man who's been the world's heaviest puncher since 2018, when he set the world record, was dropped dead in the ring by a punch. Iron Mike, however, expects a bounce back from Francis. After being warmly welcomed by Joshua into the post-fight conference, Francis had this to say about the knockout. "I think I was just trying to collect as much as possible to make the count after. I was just on my way up, but that was a clean one. In fact, I didn't feel the punch. I think that's what the knockout is about. I don't feel any pain. That's how I know I was knocked out." Finally, giving Joshua his deserved praise, he said, "He was quite special because he stopped me. He did what Tyson Fury couldn't. It wasn't my day, and he's just way better than me today." Backing up an earlier statement by Mike Tyson on his boxing career, Francis was assured that he wasn't quitting boxing just yet but could try out MMA as well. "Maybe MMA, but you can be absolutely sure that I'm not done yet."
I think I was just trying to collect as much as possible to make the count after, you know. I do not stop and start to make a count on what I have done. I was just on my way, climbing up until get stopped by AJ. Congratulations, by the way. That was a clean one, you know. So, yeah.
Fighters from the MMA also shared their opinions via tweets on the X app. Former mixed martial artist Dan Hardy tweeted, "Man, hell of a performance, fair play, levels for sure." Hardy, in his tweet, paid much respect to Anthony Joshua and recognized Joshua's astronomical heights in boxing. American retired mixed martial artist and commentator Kenny Florian also had this to say. "Those are 3 of the hardest right hands I've seen land in combat sports, and they all landed in one fight against Francis. My goodness, Anthony Joshua made it look easy tonight. Good to see Francis back on his feet after that." Florian claimed the 3 punches AJ landed on Francis were one of the hardest 3 he'd seen in combat sports, and the 3 happened in one fight. He further appreciated Joshua's class, highlighting how he made a difficult opponent look so harmless and amateurish. Dylan Dennis, who fought only 2 matches in his MMA career, slightly fired a shot at Francis and asked to meet Joshua in a fight. "I want Joshua next. I represented MMA better than Francis." Famous boxing trainer and fight commentator Teddy Atlas was flabbergasted by the outcome of the match. When asked about how the match went, he yelled, "Wow, experience shows, and I have a saying, to be forewarned is to be foreprepared." What I mean by that is that I don't think Tyson Fury or anyone else expected what they expected out of Francis the first time, but it was an element of surprise. No element of surprise this time. Joshua knew what he was dealing with, and he was respectful of it. He was prepared for it, and his experience allowed him to obviously have the big advantage that he had and score the punch. Atlas had a point right there. He expounds on a famous quote of his and claims Tyson Fury might have been a victim of unpreparedness, as he didn't know what to expect from Francis. But Joshua must have drawn lessons from the match in October and used them to his advantage. This advantage, coupled with the experience, is why we have a Joshua win today. Atlas then revealed who he had earlier tipped for the victory and gave some deeper insights into Francis's style and weaknesses. I had picked Joshua to win, and I picked up on my podcast. I picked up with the people here yesterday, and one of the things I thought from a technical standpoint to look for was in the fight against Fury. He showed a terrific kind of left hook early. He dropped Fury in the third round. But as the fight went on, he started leading with the left hook. You should never lead with the left hook in front of a guy.
Listen, experience showed, and I have a saying, forewarned, foreprepared. What I mean by that is...
Finally, John Fury, when asked about the match, perfectly described it and summed it up into one word: clinical.
Tyson looks like it's set now almost, right? I mean, what do you make of that fight now, Tommy?
It sets up the fight everybody wants to see.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
The match that created so much chaos a month before its kickoff has come to an end. The chaos of knockout chaos has been silenced. Joshua has his win. He's made his statement, and he's looking forward to facing the winner of the Usyk versus Fury fight. There's so much more to come. Until next time, peace out.